Do you ever wonder why there are hallways? I've never thought about that question till this moment. A hallway. What is a hallway all about? In Hebrew, you know what a hallway is called? It's called a prose door. What is a prose door? What is a hallway for? To let you in. That's nice. Thank you. Exactly. To take you from one place to another, because we need transitions. It's so healthy for us to have space between moments, to not just simply, we can't always just show up in the moment. We need that space to move from one place to another. And this moment and this time this evening is a prose door. It's a hallway. It's a transition. We are moving from out there to in here. And this space that we're moving into is a different space than all other spaces. But it's really not. I mean, it is and it isn't. What makes this space different is what? Yeah. What makes this space different is we. We, us. Thank you, us. And what we come here for, which on the one hand is to celebrate Rebecca, who's becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow. But even if you didn't know that Rebecca was becoming a bat mitzvah tomorrow, you're here also because you know for yourself you need the moment of transition. And I apologize for those of you who is back, you are seeing from me as opposed to my face. But I want us to think, like, what are you transitioning from? Where are you coming from? And where would you like to be? And how might we provide that kind of space to allow you to transition from there to here? And once you're here, how do you then become fully present? Because that's so hard for us. It's hard for me. I got ADD. I'm all over the place all the time. Yes, exactly. That's me right there. That's me, the shaking egg. But I work, like all of us do, to try to be present. So I'm going to invite us to go from wherever it is that we just were to this space right here and allow ourselves to be fully present to what happens here. Join us if you'd like in whatever capacity you have. And we're going to open up our Sidurim to page 10 for this poetry love song between us and God.
nafshi cholat avatach ana elna refana la behar otla noam zivach az titchazek v'titrape v'haitalach shivchat olam.
For some reason, transitions are in my head. They weren't right before I came into this space, but they are now. So I want to hold on. There is another prose door that I don't know how many of you noticed just a few minutes ago. Right before the beginning of the service, I looked up and I noticed that the Shabbat candles were not lit. And so I went to grab a little matchstick and I lit the Shabbat candles. But I did not say a bracha. And I just realized I didn't say a bracha. So I'm going to invite those of you who would like to in a moment to stand up and bless the candles. But I was thinking that candles are also, Shabbat candles are a prose door. They're a hallway. They're a moment of transition. They bring us from a week of work, of constant fighting and battling and creating and shaping and pushing and moving, to a day where we're supposed to let go of all of that noise and all of that stuff. Thank you, Bob. Actually, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And see if you can think of, in the next breath I invite you, one thing that you want to transition away from. Just to let go of what it was that you were building, creating, focusing on, pushing against this week. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And in that moment of transition into Shabbat, for those of you who would like to rise to say a bracha over these candles that help us articulate in a real way that moment of transition, and we can recite the blessing together. Who would like to start us off? Chad, Shnaim, Shalosh.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel
Now take a look at the lights, and perhaps in looking at those lights, invite yourself to bring in something. You let go of something. Now, what do you want to bring into the next 25 hours of Shabbat for yourself? That has nothing to do with work, but everything to do with rehabilitation of the soul. You may be seated as we turn to page 11 for Lachuna Ranana.
מנוחתי.
We keep going as we turn to page 16, or Zarua. You can find it at the very bottom of the page. And by the way, the beauty of this Siddur, Lev Shalem, is that most of the tefillot, the prayers that we sing, are transliterated into the red at the bottom of the page. So we are 4 lines from the bottom in the Hebrew, or Zarua, and 4 lines from the bottom in the transliteration if your Hebrew is a little rusty.
זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. וישרה לב שמחה. לי 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 יא לי 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 אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. וישרה לב שמחה. אור זרוע לצדיק וישרה לב שמחה. וישרה לב שמחה. שמחו צדיקים באדוני והודו לזכר קודשו.
Continuing the bottom of 19, 2 lines from the bottom. Also, in the transliteration, 2 lines from the bottom, the middle of the page.
Romemu, 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 Romemu Adonai, Eloheinu, Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho, Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho, Ki kadosh, ki kadosh, ki kadosh Adonai. Eloheinu, Romemu. Faster. Romemu, Romemu. Romemu, Romemu. Romemu Adonai. Eloheinu. Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh, ki kadosh, ki kadosh Adonai. Eloheinu, Romemu.
Thank you, Michael. I couldn't agree with you more. Transitions. I'm sorry, I'm just stuck here. I'm stuck. I'm stuck because this week was another significant transition. What happened this week? I'm not talking, there's lots of terrible things that happened this week. And we are, what's that about Arizona? Okay, well, that's a transition, I think. Yeah, and we're definitely before Mourner's Kaddish, and tomorrow we're going to talk about the terrible tragedy in Israel. But Elul, what is Elul? Elul is a Hebrew month. It's a Hebrew month. And it's not just any old Hebrew month. It is a prose door. It is a hallway. It is the month we move from all the days of the year to the days of year that matter most to us, the days of awe, exactly. Elul is that month of transition that moves us from not necessarily paying such close attention to how we live in this world to really wanting us to spend some time focusing on how we live in this world, on who we are, and more importantly, who we would like to become. So, can I offer you a little bit of Torah right now? If you said no, I would still keep going. So I really shouldn't have asked such a question. Here's the Torah. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'sharecha. That is the Torah that starts tomorrow morning. And what does it mean? It means you shall appoint judges and officers in all your gates. The Torah portion, Shoftim. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha. You shall appoint judges and justices. Now, how many of us outside of the legal profession are appointing judges and justices in our gates? Is there anybody here who's doing that? I didn't think so. So what do we do with such a line? How do we live that line of Torah today if we're not actually doing what it's asking us to do? Well, the Hasidic rabbis were so brilliant. And one in particular who suggests that maybe we have to metaphorize sha'arecha. We have to metaphorize gates. What are the gates of our lives? What are the gates of our bodies? And this Rebbe says the gates of your bodies are specifically your lips, your mouth, your ears, and your eyes. Appoint judges and justices to those gates. In other words, you see where the metaphor is going, don't you? In other words, who is that who judges what comes out of your mouth? Oh, a smart man back there, or a smart aleck man, I don't know which.
Surrealist.
A realist, yes. A realist or a surrealist? We are the ones who get to judge what comes out of our mouth. We are the ones who get to judge how we use our eyes. We are the ones who judge what we listen to and what we ignore. We also are the ones to judge what comes out of other people's mouths in the sense of whether we're going to pay attention or not. Pay attention only if it's not gossip. Lashon hara, speaking ill about somebody else. So, shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha. That is a moment. Our eyes, our lips, our mouth are also transitions into the world at large. And so we have the capacity to place officers and judges within ourselves. And what better time to think about that as we move into the month of Elul? How will we use speech this next year? How will we focus our eyes on what's important and let go of what's trivial? How will we open up our ears to hear the sounds of the divine in our life? And how might we close our ears to the noise and the clutter that just sometimes so frustrates us and takes us away from the capacity that we have to reach the heights that we each can. Shoftim v'shotrim titen lecha b'chol sha'arecha. You're welcome, Michael. We rise, page 21, Mizmor LeDavid.
Mizmor LeDavid, Havol Adonai b'nei Eli, Havol Adonai, Kavod Vav, ay, 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 Havol Adonai, Kevod Shemo Hishtachavol Adonai, Kodesh, Kol Adonai, Hamayim, El Adonai melech leolam, Adonai oz le'amo yiten, Adonai yevarech et amo v'shalom. Lai, 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 lai.
You may be seated. I promise you this is my last transitional moment. I think. I don't know if I should promise anything, but I promise you, I think. This is it. So, the people who created Kabbalat Shabbat, the mystics of Sfad, they were also all into transition, into hallways and prose doors, even if they didn't use that language. Maybe they did, I don't know. But for them, the most important moment of transition was this moment, Lecha Dodi, because this is the moment where they actually welcomed, in spirit, in body, in the way in which they imagined it, the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat queen. And I want us to think, like, if somebody important is coming to your house, which is really anybody, right? Because everybody is important who should be coming to my house. How do you greet them? Right? Especially if you're hosting them in some way. You probably clean the house a little bit. You may clean yourself up a little bit. You may prepare something really special for them. And so the transition into Shabbat is doing that for ourselves. How do we greet the Sabbath? What might we do? Now, we're already here, so it's too late to change anything. But for next week, or maybe mentally, what we can do is change. What are we going to do for ourselves to prepare for the next 25 hours? How do we approach this next period of time so that we can imagine ourselves in the presence of the Shekhinah, in the presence of God's holy majesty, in the presence of the Shabbat bride? We turn to page 23 for Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi likakala Penei Shabbat nekavela Lecha Dodi likakala Penei Shabbat nekavela Shamor v'zachor beribu echad Hishmianu elam yuchad Adonai echad u'shmo echad L'shem u'tiferet ve'lithilah Lecha Dodi likakala Penei Shabbat nekavela Lecha Dodi likakala Penei Shabbat nekavela Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha Ki hi mekor haberacha Merosh mikedem nesucha Sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila Lecha Dodi, turn the page Likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekavela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat nekavela Hitoreri Kiva orech kumi ori Uri shira beri Kevod Adonai alayk nigala Lecha Dodi likrat kala
Bottom of page 25, we rise.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala Gam besimcha uv'sochola Toch emunei am segula Boi Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likakala bene Shabbat nekabela.
You may be seated. We're going to take a moment silently just to read Psalm 27, the Psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor Shabbat. And we continue on page 29, Adonai Malach.
Adonai malach geut lavesh, lavesh Adonai oz hitazah, avtikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisacha me'az me'olam ata, naseu nehorot Adonai, Naseu nehoro kolam, Yisu 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 nehoro dochyam, mikolot mayim rabim adirim mishpereyam. Adir, Bamarom Adonai, Edotecha ne'emu me'od, Leveitcha na'ava kodesh, Adonai le'orech yamim, Adonai le'orech yamim, Naseu nehorot Adonai, Naseu nehorot kolam, Yisu 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 nehorot dochyam, mikolot mayim rabim adirim mishpereyam. Adir, Bamarom Adonai.
Well, now we are here. We have finished transitioning, and we are present and fully aware that we enter into the Shabbat with the Mariv service, the call to prayer, a reminder that all of us together make up this holy community. We rise, if we are able, turning to the Ark, page 39, as we direct our hearts and minds towards Yerushalayim, towards Jerusalem. May be seated. We continue silently. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech asher
Ma'avir yom u'mevin laila, mavdir ben yom u'mevin laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu, le'olam va'ed, Baruch ata Adonai, Hama'ariv aravi.
Page 40, Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Amcha ahavta. Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadata. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu b'shachvenu ufkumenu nasiach bechukecha v'nizmach b'divrei toratecha ub'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed ki chem chayenu ve'orech yameinu uvahem negei yomam v'layla negei yomam v'layla ve'ahavadcha al tasi mimenu le'olamim Baruch ata Adonai ohev hamo Yisrael ohev amo Yisrael.
Rebecca leads us in Shman Vehafta, page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, bechol levavcha, uvechol nafshecha, uvechol meotecha, v'chayu hadevarim ha'ele. Asher Anochi Metzavecha Hayom Alevavecha Veshinantam Levanecha Vedibar Tabam Veshivtecha Bevetecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uvshochbecha Uvkumecha Ukshartam Leot Al Yadecha V'chayu letotafot bein einecha Uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha. Wait, just a moment. Leman tizkeru ve'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim lelohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher chotzetechem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We pick up again, page 44, top of the page.
Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai mi kamocha neda v'kodesh nora tehilot osei fele mi chamocha va'elim Adonai mi kamocha neda v'kodesh nora tehilot osei fele Malchutecha, Rovanecha, Malchutecha, Rovanecha, Bokeh Hayom, Livnei Moshe uMiriam, Mi chamocha, Ba'elim Adonai, Mi kamocha, Nadav HaKodesh, Nora Tehilot, Osei Fele, Osei Fele. Zeli Anu Ve'ameru Adonai Yiloch Le'olam Va'ed Le'olam Mi chamocha va'elim Adonai mi kamocha neda b'kodesh nora tehilot osei fele Baruch atah Adonai Ka'al Yisrael.
Continuing our prayer for peace, page 45, Hashki Venu.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechaim Ufros aleinu L'chaim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al Yerushalayim ve'al Yerushalayim Amen.
We turn to 46 and rise as Rebecca leads us in Vishamru.
Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asosot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Barit Olam Veshamru Bnei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asosot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Barit Olam B'nai Uvein B'nai Yisrael Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Veshamru B'nai Yisrael Et HaShabbat La'asot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Barit Olam Ki Sheshet Yamim Asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz veshamru b'nei Yisrael et hashabat la'asosot et hashabat ledorotam berit olam uvayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Veshamru B'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat La'asosot et HaShabbat Ledorotam Berit Olam
יתקרב ויתקדש מרבה, ועמד יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון יברום יחון, ובחייכו בישראל, ועלה בזמן קריב ואימרו. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם עולם לעולמיה, יתברך וישתבח, ויפאר ויתרומם וינשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה, שמי קודשה. אלא מן כה ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירון בעלמה ואמרו.
Once again, our hearts and minds face towards Israel and Yerushalayim, the silent Amidah, the Hebrew, the English are an opportunity for our own quiet thoughts and reflections beginning on 47.
Kaddish Shalem, page 54. Yitgadal v'yitkadosh merabah, Vama divrach hirote viam lich machote, b'chai chon avim achon, b'chai edecho be'Israel, bagalavis man kri ve'imeru. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach, le'alam olol me'almaya, Yitbarach v'ishtabach v'pa'ah v'troman v'naseh, v'tada v'talev v'talash midikudashah. Le'ila min kol b'chata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imeru. Titkabal zlotachon uva utachon decho Yisrael, kodam avuhon divishmaya v'imeru. Yehi shlam araba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'ko Yisrael v'imeru. Ose shalom b'rimramav, huya se shalom, aleinu ve'ko Yisrael, ve'ko yoshvei tevel, ve'imeru.
Amen. We rise once again as Rebecca leads us in Kiddush on page 55.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho be'achava uvratzon hinhilanu, zikaron lema'aseh bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'ei kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim. Ki banu becharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha be'achava uvratzon kinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat.
Looking at the no, we're not doing Aleinu yet. Have a seat. We're not doing Aleinu because I just realized. Yes, transition. No more transitions. I told you. Actually, you know what? I was thinking there is one more transition, and that is, how do you get a child ready for bar or bat mitzvah? Well, there's a few ways, but what's the best way to get a child ready? How do you transition them from childhood to Jewish adulthood? I think the best way to do it is to make sure that they show up, that they're in shul, that they feel like they're a part of the community. Did you notice how smooth Rebecca was this evening? Did you notice it? It's because this is not her first time. This is not her second time. This is not her third time. Do you know how many times Rebecca in the past months has participated in Shabbat services? She's a pro. Cantor Jenny, look out. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying watch out. That's it. I can't wait to see what is going to happen tomorrow, because your family has made such a commitment to you that you are part of this community in all the times that you have come and participated. And so this isn't a beginning for you. This is a transitional moment, a continuation of a whole life in front of you. And we all are privileged to be here this evening to participate with you and look forward to many more opportunities to daven and pray with you in the future. As we always do on our Zamru Shabbats, how many of you, is this the first time you've been to a Zamru Shabbat service? Well, certainly our brand new Jewish spiritual life intern, Malka Rappaport. Malka, wave, say hello. This is her first time here, and we are very excited that she's going to be with us this year as she is finishing her last year at the Ziegler School of Rabbinic Studies. I'm not at all excited. And lots of wonderful things that we're going to be doing with her over the course of the year. Anybody else the first time? Well, welcome. Hopefully it won't be your last time at our Zamru Shabbat. The tefillot are always the same melodies so that it's very easy for you to pick them up. That's what makes this service unique and special, and there's always a dinner, usually a dinner. Not always, but most of the time, a dinner afterwards. And we celebrate birthdays and anniversaries. And We are celebrating the birthdays and anniversaries of the month of August.
Finally got it.
So if you have a birthday in August, stand up because I believe Minda has treats to give to all of you who have Rebecca, when's your birthday? August 25th, and we know how old you are. Barry, when's your birthday? August 30th. Max. August 29th, all at the end of August. Barry, when is about yours? That's crazy you guys share the same birth date. When is your birth? Another August 11th. Joanne, what about you? August 3rd. In the back, 21st. A third August 11th. That is the day to be born. Leah? August 2nd. Okay, what about anniversaries? Do we have anybody anniversaries? When's your anniversary? 23rd. How many? 23 years. Oh, no, how many years? 15 years. How many years? 45 years. Wow. Wow. 35 years. Kol hakavod. Oh my gosh, 40. Where are you taking us for the 50th? To a dude ranch. All right, Zamru at a dude ranch next year. What number anniversary? Not 37. Wow. And how many? 9. Babies. Did I get everybody? All right, we have a special song that we sing, a song of hope, a song of possibility. Who did I miss? Behind me. Who did I miss? No? We got everybody. Okay. August 11th birthday all the way in the back. Who is it? Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. All right, here we go. Join. The words are pretty easy.
מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה תמיד, בשמחה תמיד. מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה תמיד, בשמחה תמיד. It's a beautiful thing to gather and sing, a mitzvah to be happy always. The joy that we bring as our voices ring will fill our hearts and fill our days. Mitzvah gedola להיות בשמחה תמיד, בשמחה תמיד. מצווה גדולה להיות בשמחה תמיד, בשמחה תמיד, בשמחה תמיד.
Admea ve'esrim, in good health and happiness. Enjoy all of you who celebrated with us this evening, birthdays and anniversaries, and we'll see you next month for more, for the month of September. We rise for Aleinu as Rebecca leads us in Aleinu on 56.
Aleinu l'shabei aladon hakol latei gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoyecha ratzot velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama shelo sam helkenu kachem bigor aleinu kechol chamonam v'anachnu korim b'mishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malkei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shechunot hashamayim ve'yoser haaretz umoshav yikaro b'shamayim ima'al ushli natuzo bego pei memorim hu Eloheinu ein od emet malkeinu et besulato kakatu betorato yatach hayom v'hashavota elevavecha kakatu betoratecha Adonai him loch leolam va'ed Emar bechaya Adonai lemelech kol haaretz bayom hachu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
You may be seated. At this time, we remember those whose yard sites are this week. And we remember those who lost their lives as members of HAMAKOM: Matthew Jaffe, son of Stephen and Andrea Jaffe; Steve Newman, father of Stephanie Cohen; Walter Lee Levy, father of Geraldine Shorten; Ann Mikulka, mother of Karen Dinsfriend; Mark Allen Good, son of Sheila and David Good; Stuart B. Jasper, father of Todd Jasper. In our tradition, we learn that every human soul is so precious, it is as if an entire world, when somebody dies, is lost. And Israel lost 6 worlds this week in the murders of Hirsch Goldberg Poland, Idin Yerushalmi, Ori Danino, Alex Labanov, Carmel Gat, and Almog Sarusi. We remember them as we remember your loved, and we invite you, if you are reciting Kaddish for a loved one, remembering the beautiful soul who is no longer, we invite you to join in the recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish, which you can find on page 58. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yute ve'amlich malchute. B'chayechon uviomechon uvchaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated on page 59. The psalm for this season of repentance as we began the month of Elul. Take a moment and recite silently the Hebrew or the English before we conclude our service. Lulei amanti lerobe tu Adonai be'eretz chayim kavel Adonai chazak ve'ametz libecha ve'kaveh el Adonai. Once again, the tradition is those in mourning observing a yard site to rise for mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach yute ve'amlich malchute. B'chayechon uviomechon uvchaye d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agalau v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach leolam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata damiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the memories of our loved ones continue to inspire us as we hold them in our hearts and say amen. You may be seated. Before we conclude our service, a reminder that next Sunday, I don't know what happened, but it doesn't matter. I don't need the microphone. I got a loud voice. Next Sunday is our open house splash bash. Come for fun, for food, for water sports and fun and games and all sorts of other things. And if you need a visit to this beautiful campus because you have not understood or seen and you're new here to all of the beautiful spaces that we have, there's going to be tours. If you know people who are looking for a community and are searching for a wonderful home called HAMAKOM, bring them along to that open house as well. Do you know why it's hot outside right now? Is it hot outside? Has it been hot the last couple of days? Has anybody noticed that? Do you know why it's so hot? Because this is usually the time of Rosh Hashanah or Yom Kippur. And so we have tricked Mother Nature. So in 3 weeks, it's going to be nice and cool because it's hot now. Which reminds you that the high holidays are around the corner. So if you have not registered, if you have not gotten your tickets, you have not gone online, please do so. And if you have any questions, Rabbi Vogel has all the answers. Right after the high holidays is the incredibly joyful holiday of Sukkot. And HAMAKOM has the largest sukkah that is this side of the Mississippi, for sure. But it cannot go up without your help and support. So our incredible men's club, they are looking for volunteers. And you don't have to climb a ladder, and you don't have to know how to hammer in a nail. All you have to do is come out and direct. Do you know how to be a boss? Because if you know how to be a boss and you know how to direct, then come out and you can direct somebody else to do the work, and then you can have a bagel and a donut and enjoy. If only, yes. It is just incredibly painful and sad to think that it has been almost a year since October 7th, and Israel is still fighting this war, and people are still having lives disrupted, and there are still hostages. And we as a community are going to gather more than once, certainly on Simchat Torah and at Yom Kippur, but particularly on October 7th. A beautiful, poignant, moving ceremony was created by our Israel committee, and we're going to be gathering that Monday evening at 7:30 on October 7th, so please join us. And I think that's enough, because I'm hungry, and I'm sure you're hungry, so why don't we conclude services? A mazel tov once again to you, Rebecca. Oh, yes. Oh, tomorrow, Tuesday, we collect PB&J sandwiches, water and a bag of chips and fruit and whatever. Make these sandwiches, bring them to the synagogue on Tuesday. We deliver them to those who are unhoused. So please support us and help us. If you've signed up for the dinner, that's going to be as soon as we finish the tefillah across the way. If not, come back tomorrow morning. We have 3 services, one at 9:30, one at 9:15, and one at 10:45. The 10:45 one is our contemplative circle, a little meditation, a little chanting, a little yoga body movement, a little learning. If you haven't been, it's a great service. Neshama, Shara, join us tomorrow as we conclude this service, Zamru, with the singing of Oseh Shalom, our prayer for peace.
Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen.
Two more announcements, please. Put your eggs in the basket that Steve has at the door. And one more, Rosalind and Neil Sokoler donated that beautiful box out in front for Sova food donations. Please, between now and the holidays, bring your cans of Sova food for the homeless. Oh,